A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this particular session, I'm going to be talking about the masculine who feels that ever since he has met the feminine, he wants to be more spiritual. He wants to, surrender. He wants to live a life which is more real. He may be living a good life, no doubt about that. And he may be happy in that also. Happy in the sense whatever he's doing, he's happy with it, He has no complaints as such. But he always feels there is some kind of a void, or there is some kind of an emptiness, or something is missing. He is not completely happy. He may not have had great relationships also in the past. But with the feminine, he feels some kind of a connection, very strong connection. However, he is very impressed by her spiritual side actually. She is a godly woman, and the godliness that he senses in her, that is what he is very much attracted to. He can share with her, he can talk about anything. And he feels like if he is going to live like her, or if he is going to at least be around her, support her in whatever way he can, then it will be good for him. And he's not doing this in a selfish way. Like he sees her like you can say like a teacher, or like someone from whom he can learn. So he's giving her that pedestal also, that respect also, that she can bring out the better in me. And he has all these questions from her. He asks like about the food we should eat. So why am I talking about this particular person over here? Is because it somehow talks about lack of ego. What happens with some men is they may be very nice and very caring and very understanding also. Everything is good about them. They could be good listeners, good talkers, but they have an ego problem. As long as they have an ego problem, they cannot grow and progress, and they cannot learn, because in the twin flame journey, it is mostly the feminines, the female, who turns out to be the teacher, turns out to be the one who inspires the man, energetically. She is the first one to step into this world. She's the first one to say that no, I want to do inner work, I want to work on myself. In many cases, it happens that when they meet at that point in time, they are both in energies which are not very good for the relationship. And I'm not talking about the masculines who make a really big step like marrying someone or having children. They are the most difficult ones to return back that easily. Some of them do, but mostly they don't, because they have this habit of picking up an easy option or going with the other people, the decision makers. So getting married to someone while you have another person, while you have fallen in love, only because the one you fell in love with is more spiritual. She's gonna make you do things. She wants you to change. It's not like she wants him to change according to her standards. She just wants him to improve and become a better person so that he can live a better life than what he's living. How she is wrong is that she's not supposed to do it like this. She's not supposed to tell him. She's supposed to do it herself and show it to others. By doing it yourself, you automatically show it to other people. By living a certain lifestyle, by creating your own ecosystem around you. So here in this case, that ego problem is not there, because any man who has an ego, he can never learn, because he has to take care of the ego then. He has to massage the ego, and anybody who goes little bit against the ego, he is not going to like it. Anybody who has the courage to tell him that no, this isn't like this, or this can be done like this, or there are more ways to do it, not just one way to do it. Or if she can challenge his addictions. He could be having deep addictions, like he doesn't feel like working, he plays a lot of video games, he drinks a lot, he has some drug addiction, chemical addiction I'm talking about. Even if it's not a chemical addiction, let me tell you, it's okay sometimes, you want to get relaxed and all, but if you're constantly on a daily basis without doing your work, without taking care of any proper responsibilities, without being focused, Because these things define your character. If you're constantly willing to stay in a state where you're high, or you're just not doing much, then it will have a problem. And that's why I said chemical addiction is worse, chemical addiction is bad, something herbal is not, okay? And there are many herbs also that people are trying these days. One is becoming very popular these days is Shilajit. You guys can Google about it. You guys can figure out what it can do. It's a really good herb actually. So why am I talking about all this is because there are many addictions which are subtle addictions and we don't know about it. They look like, okay, I just want to chill or something like that, but actually it is sort of making you dependent on it. So don't be dependent on something. That's the point. Food is a very big addiction, guys. Very, very, very big addiction. And sometimes just, staying stuck in a limbo state is also an addiction. It is addiction to stick to a comfort zone. Basically, all these things create delays, and the men and women who are stuck in these problems, they cannot go to battlefield, spiritual battlefield, that is. So, by the way, there are some ladies in the background. They are doing bhajan kirtan near my house. So, you can hear the music if you can. It's very light maybe on the recording, but I can hear it pretty loudly. Not that loudly that I cannot even record. Yeah, that's it. So here the good thing is that the masculine is without the ego, which means he has done a lot of inner work in the matrix reality. Sometimes the masculines, they go through a lot of difficulties, lot of challenges, but they don't do any like sitting down and closing your eyes and all those practices. No, they are just fighting it out with the outside world, and they have this deep belief that nothing wrong is going to happen to them, or that God is watching them. Maybe the angels, maybe God, somebody they believe in, some higher power, supreme power. They believe in the supreme power and they face the challenges head on. They don't run away from the challenges, they don't escape. So while escaping, what happens is that we delay the matrix inner work also that happens in the matrix reality. But when you keep facing challenges, but don't stop, keep moving on, keep moving on, keep moving on, get the solution. Even if he has gone through heartbreaks or anything, he doesn't stop. Even if he got some setback in the work, he's not stopping. He just keeps going on and on and on, and every single day he works with faith. Some of them may not even realize it, that they use the faith principles, or they use God as a support. They may not even realize it. Okay. And I can say this because when I was also in a limbo state, I used to do a lot of amazing things. Things just used to happen. And obviously, I'm not taking credit for it. I was not the doer. Now I realize, when I look back, I think, how did I pull that off? Like, it was impossible to pull that off without the grace of higher power, supreme being, or your guru, masters. You can't do these things. It's impossible to do these type of things at such a young age, when you have so many enemies, so many people are jealous of you, plus the patriarchal system is also there, and then your wounds are there, programming is there. In the limbo state, somehow most feminines and masculines, they do well materialistically, but masculines don't go through that phase of career problems. I have noticed that maybe they are stuck in a wrong job for a long time and they spend some time trying to get out of it. But they are smart. I know this much. I have spoken to a lot of them. They have this, they'll have some savings either, or they'll have some calculated time already, kept aside, that this much time only I can give to myself. So they are practical and analytical that way. Women, because of their bodies, because of the hormones, because of so many things, they usually get very emotional, and because of getting too much into the emotional state, sometimes they just keep wasting time and feeling sad, feeling depressed and feeling low and things like that. So as a man, he has also come up a long way. He has also healed a lot. He also had many wounds, but he had to go through those wounds. He had to suffer. He had to be miserable He had to face all those problems, and then he had to still continue whatever he was doing. And that way, while she is doing inner work on the other side and he is doing his matrix inner work on the other side, slowly and gradually they start coming up to the same level with each other. They start, balancing. They are a balance now. They are more so they are in balanced state. So she is in a balanced state and he is in a better state. So obviously she is going to attract him as a mirror. Okay. And he will not be like, oh, I cannot ask for help, or she's a woman, what would she know, or she could be like this or she could be like that. If I ask her this question, if I learn from her, then what will she think about me? He is not like that at all. He can teach her many things, but he doesn't want to, because he feels that whatever she is, the way she is, she's amazing and she's beautiful, and he's very much he's very impressed by her also at the same time. Now again, different scenarios will play in some cases it is an old ex who came back because he had a horrible time, 1 decade of torture or 7 years of torture or whatever, and after going through that he realized that he was so egotistical, he was so mean to her, he was she was so nice to him, and the karmics get the better of him. The karmics kind of give him some good lessons. So he is like now he is in that zone where he wants to be more closer to her, spend more time with her, get to know her better, because he has come back from that hell zone that he was in. Then the second scenario is that it could be someone who was a friend but has been around for a long time, has been observing her, noticing her, and but I'm telling you this very clearly, everyone, as a feminine, if you have not done any inner work, then this is not going to happen to you. If it happens, then it will be in a very materialistic format. Okay, it will not be a spiritual connection, it will be a karmic or a materialistic connection, because even in karmic and materialistic connections you have these sweet moments. Although he is not going to ask you that I want to learn from you, I want to be more spiritual, he is going to ask you for some other things, that I want to be with you, I want to spend more time with you, he's going to buy you some presents. That's a completely different way of approaching a relationship. And not that the spiritual guy cannot give you presents or anything like that, but you know the difference after doing inner work, because you also change as a person. You're no longer the same person that you used to be, who had a very false idea of love. So if you are living in that zone, then your intuition cannot work that well, and intuitively you cannot communicate. You won't have any telepathic communication with the person who's supposed to spend your whole life with. And again, it is not necessary that you need to see the twin flame relationship in a very romantic way, in a typical way. There is nothing typical about a twin flame relationship, whether you like it or whether you don't like it. And people who do hardcore inner work, proper inner work, they are living in a very different vibration. Once you start living in that vibration, which is sometimes even hard to explain, something has shifted, much, like feel better, you're happier, you're relaxed, you're very productive, you're not codependent, you are tension free, you, even if something happens, it will not affect you for that long, you'll be solution oriented, everything will be like very different, than what it was. So that, that thing is so much better. The inner work helps you, the daily inner work helps you so much, because it's source integration. Okay, and once people who step into that zone of source integration, they live a very different life after that. So then it is not about how many times you meet, how many times you go on a date, how many times you hug me, how many times you said I love you to me, or you didn't even call me since morning. And still all those things will happen, the calls will happen, the messages will happen, there is no expectations. And you will not be like overexcited when you see the message or the notification, like your heart won't skip a beat every time. So obviously he is looking at her like his monad, and it's a good thing, I would say. Such type of masculines, they are very wise. And one more scenario can be of a friendship scenario also, where you two are very good friends, but the masculine feels that ever since he got in touch with the feminine, or ever since he changed, maybe he's also changing, doing some kind of matrix inner work, he feels that she's more spiritual, she has so much to offer, she has so much to give, so much information that I can take and I can use, and it will be better for me. If he is a egotistical masculine, then obviously he will get triggered by her information and whatever. So that's why I'm talking about this comparison, okay? If you are also going out with someone, dating someone, or friends with someone, or you're doing some kind of a mission work, some kind of project with someone, and the other person is constantly negative, or that person is never doing anything as such, like not being responsible at all, or they get hurt by very small things, or if you are in a zone where you are hurt or you're low, they cannot handle it, anything, they cannot give you anything. That's what I'm trying to say. And when they take also, they take it in a manner as if, it's like they are doing a favor on you by taking it from you. That's how they make you feel. That is a spiritually immature masculine. He still has to do a lot of work. He still has to go, ahead in life. And if you connect more with the, being a man, you connect more with your feminine energy. You have more of nurturing elements in you. You are more creative. And you are married to someone, or you are dating someone, or you are having some trouble with some other feminine energy who is in the female body but has more of a masculine energy. Then also you need to understand that sometimes, communication has to be fixed out, for anything. So now I'm talking about the other side, okay? So let's understand, say you're a man and you are going through certain things, and now you have both the energies in you. You have the masculine energy and you're also connected to your nurturing side. But the feminine or the female you're with, she cannot see that. If she cannot see that, or she's having an issue with that, that means she is in an ego zone right now. In case you're in close proximity, then the best thing to do is mental separation, live your own life, do your own things. Don't be a burden on anyone. Don't be an emotional burden or a mental burden, physical burden, financial burden. Remain in your zone, okay? Remain in your zone, otherwise you'll get very negative. You'll not be happy, you'll not be independent, things like that. And if you feel that it is a girlfriend or it is a friend, although both relationships are very different, and you have some kind of attachment and you're not able to put your point across, or you have a certain energy, you have a certain lifestyle which they don't gel with, okay? Again, same thing, you need to do mental separation and you need to let them be. I said in the very beginning only, you don't have to force people to become spiritual. You don't have to tell them that you should do this and you should do that. You just talk about it. You just express, and if they like it, okay. If they don't like it, don't take it to your heart also. Don't get emotional about it. Oh, I am this and I'm that, and they don't even like my lifestyle and this and that. You don't need anybody's validation or approval to be who you are. And once you live in that zone, you keep living in that zone for a while, then you will see that the masculine energy around you will change. Either they will have their own lessons and experiences and they will come back clean to you, or you will attract someone who is already like that, like, you just know it that this person is in the same space like me, or they will tell you that they've had this type of experience. Sometimes you don't even need to talk about it, or they would know you for a long time but they could never have the courage or just tell you how much they've always liked you. But now, because of inner work, they are becoming, because you are in your receiving energy, so they are also gathering courage to speak to you, to share their feelings with you, okay? For your personal situation, you can check out the description box for readings and for therapies. I'm introducing another new therapy, which is relationship therapy, and this is for those people who are married and who are dating, but they are in a twin flame experience, okay? They are in the twin flame world, we can say, in the twin flame universe. And then we have people who are obviously going through their own journey. Maybe they are in separation, or maybe they are in runner-chaser dynamic, maybe they are in on and off communication, or they are in contact situation. So through therapy, you can work on karmic blocks, you can do chakra alignment therapy, you can also do narcissistic abuse release. Very big reason for because of which you have separation and you go through these continuous feelings of unworthiness. And then we have the clear the clutter is also there. If you have a home, but you always have some issue in your lifestyle, in your living standards, or you don't have enough energy, you're constantly not motivated, you need motivation and this and that. So all of this hand holding can be given to you, and then later on you can fly solo. Okay, so you can write to me at the sunamoon@gmail.com. Do not share your twin flame journey in advance with me. That's my request, because we need to use intuitive tools as well. And continue to do your inner work. Those who are doing, keep it up. You're amazing. And I will see you soon in another one. One love and peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.